Joining us with more now on the unfolding situation in Ukraine is Sergei Zhuk, and he's an associate professor of Russian and East European history at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. Welcome and thank you.
Hello.
Tell us, is Russia really distancing itself from Ukraine right now? We understand that they've been told that they told the parliament actually to apply for a loan from the IMF and to stabilize themselves on their own.
Officially, Russia tried to be distant, but many Ukrainians who live in eastern and southern part of Ukraine wants more in Russian involvement. We have Sevastopol meeting, Kerch meeting in southern Ukraine, Crimea. We have demonstrations in support of closer connections with Russia in other cities like Kharkov. But it looks like Putin tried to play a different game, not to interfere. And I suspect this result of these negotiations with Merkel, with Germany, and with United States.
I see. Tell me, does Viktor Yanukovych really have any power at this point? He's claiming a coup d'etat, but he was clearly voted out.
Well, he's now the most unpopular figure even among his former followers from Party of the Regions. And he showed that he's a real coward. He fled to Kharkov. His wife was seen in Donbass, in their native, in the hometown, and we don't know his whereabouts. And in this in this situation, Parliament voted for interim president, who is Alexander Turchinov. But paradox of the situation is that now we have rival clan of another eastern oligarchs from Dnipropetrovsk coming back to historical stage. Mm-hmm. Instead of Donetsk bandits, we have now Alexander Turchinov and Yulia Tymoshenko coming back to politics from Dnipropetrovsk.
I see. Professor, you mentioned Yulia Tymoshenko. She spoke to the crowd after being freed from prison. Many believe that this was all political, but where do you see her fitting into the political landscape?
She's now is a political martyr. She's a political hero of this rebellion. She became a symbol of this rebellion. Although everybody remember that she was mixed in these corrupt games. She made money. She made money in the 90s as typical post-Soviet oligarchs in Russia or Ukraine. But now she asked for repentance, and many people were surprised by her appearance, by her passionate speech. Even myself, who studied her history, who studied her connection to this, very black, very bad business of the 90s. Still, now even myself see her as a real symbol of this revolution, because she promised to be honest. She asked for forgiveness in public for all those corrupt politicians, and she promised not to be prime minister. When she was approached to become a new prime minister, she rejected this offer. Mm-hmm. So she's now behaving as very decent, very honest, repentant political leader who asked for forgiveness.
I see. Professor, do you believe that life will be better for the people in Ukraine? I mean, there are arrest warrants out, people have been fired, new people are being brought in, but how do we know that life will be better without Yanukovych for them?
Well, first of all, Yanukovych represented this Donetsk mafia, which control all businesses, everything. Unfortunately, today we have this, information battle in mass media, when Russian mass media presented people who revolted against Yanukovych as American Western conspiracy, people who supported by Americans, And they ignore the fact that this rebellion is not against Russia or against Russian connection. No, this rebellion is against this oligarchy, this corrupt regime which killed all jobs, all businesses, left people unemployed. That's why we have only few businesses in the east. Why people in Kharkiv and in Donetsk try to support Yanukovych. But believe me, Yanukovych was the worst scenario for economy of Ukraine. He killed this economy of Ukraine. Now we need fresh politicians who restore all these connections, restore all these businesses, and probably connections with Russia and with Europe will be revived after this group of Donetsk mafiosi overthrown. So I think that life should be better, but again, we need to nationalize everything which was stolen by this Donetsk mafia, by Donetsk family himself, but also other politicians who are still in the parliament. This is a problem. We need to ask, it called now administration or whatever they call now on Maidan, but we need control by Maidan, by this real power of the ordinary people over these corrupt politicians who are still in this government, including Alexander Turchinov, who represent another clan of oligarchs from Dnipropetrovsk.
Well, Professor, just in a nutshell, we have to go, but tell us how critical the next 48 hours or so are going to be for the people of Ukraine, and what are the essentials that they need from the UN?
We need moral, financial, first of all, and physical support, because we're afraid that some other radicals from eastern and the southern Ukraine, from Crimea, would ask Putin to interfere. It's an impossible scenario, but remember what happened when detoned Germans in Czechoslovakia in 1938, when they asked Hitler to interfere, and Germans came to help. So we are afraid.
Professor Sergei Zhuk, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your insight and all that you have provided for us this evening. Thank you very much.